What's up, everybody? It's Matt, also known as ThrifterSifter, and my co-host,
Mike, also known as Jiggly.Thrift.
and we're back with our bi-weekly podcast that we're going to be dropping every Friday around 5 or 6 p.m. Central. We haven't quite decided yet, but should be around that time, and this will be posted on our YouTube and our Facebook page, under the ThrifterSifter Facebook page. Today we have on a mother and daughter reselling duo, and I thought that'd be really cool. And me and Mike don't know a lot of stuff when it comes to women's clothes, handbags, shoes, stuff like that. So I thought it'd be really good to have them on. So hopefully we can learn a little bit of something new together. So let's go ahead and bring them in. Real quick, I want to give a special shout out to Vendoo for sponsoring this podcast. Vendoo allows you to take the items that you have for sale online and cross-list them up to 10 platforms at once. I list everything on my phone on eBay and then I import it right into Vendoo, and from there I currently cross-list onto Facebook, Mercari, Depop, and Greld. There's also many more like Poshmark and Etsy, and they just added Shopify. If you'd like to try Vendoo, check the link below. You can get 5 free listings, and if you use the code that's already at checkout, you can get 25% off your first month. Hey, what's up, guys?
Howdy.
How's
Hi.
it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for having us.
So if y'all want to introduce yourself.
I'm Sulym Alyssa,
Okay.
I'm Alyssa Alvarez.
and we're the Flip.Chicks.
The Flip.Chicks. Yeah, so
Mother
y'all are
team.
so y'all are mainly on Instagram, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna put like something up on here on the screen too, so people can go and give you guys a follow as well. So
Oh, great. Thank you.
Everybody follow.
so I'm kind of curious, like, how did you both get into reselling? Like, have you been doing this the longest, and then your daughter started helping you, or do y'all
Pretty
both
much.
like do this in the same place, or y'all do it like at one person, like one house and one at the other house? Like, kind of give me an idea of how y'all do y'all's.
Yeah. Well, I got started actually at least 5 years ago. I've always been interested in the flip, but in picking up a couple items, flipping those, I make some quick bucks. But then pandemic came and I got laid off, and then shortly thereafter, Allie got laid off. I'm in Las Vegas, she's in Denver, and we're we stayed where we are, and decided I started doing it. And then I was telling her how it was going, and it was so fun, just to keep ourselves busy, keep ourselves sane while we're at home on lockdown. So, and then she was just like, when she got laid off, obviously tragic. And I'm like, why don't we just start trying to do something together? Especially because, she's got a marketing background and a degree. So she does all of that. And, she's on Instagram, which I'm personally not on. So I know she had that kind of edge to put some, stuff out there in social media. And so basically that's how we got started. But we're still working separately in the different cities.
Okay, so y'all
Jobs of each other. So she does all of our sourcing, and she finds all of our inventory, and then goes ahead and takes photos of everything. And then I go and do all the research and find out what it is and make the descriptions, and then handle all of our social media on the day-to-day. So it's like she handles the front end, and then I handle the back end, which is, a great split between us, because she really enjoys finding, the treasure hunt, the thrift, flip. So, and I enjoy all the research. I'm like, she's my little Kim Possible, and I'm Ron.
yeah.
So that's crazy. I had no clue you guys were in different states and like actually running the business together. Like one goes, you go thrifting and you do all the research and stuff. That's crazy. I thought, maybe you guys just shared a store or something, but you did your own thing. I didn't know that. Yeah, you were like actually. Yeah,
that's pretty.
That's crazy. You're able to do that from different states.
Yeah, no, it's definitely challenging, because obviously, we're constantly having to call each other and going, do you like this? Is this hot or not? Like, we play the hot or not game. hot or not. And so so we have to be in contact constantly. But it is tough because I would rather have her like man on the ground when we go somewhere to find stuff. You go one end of the store, I do the other. But I've learned to like, just whatever I'm looking for is looking for me. It's like the mindset that I always have when I'm going there. I'm like, it's looking for me too. Like we're, Cosmic trying to make a connection. So I don't feel like badly when I go into like a store to thrift, that I'm going to miss out. I'm like, it's already mine.
So you're basically getting the items, cleaning them.
Now you guys seem to find, sorry.
I was at real quick. So you're finding the items, photoing them, and then Alyssa, are you actually manually listing everything yourself?
I manually list everything myself and come up with all the descriptions, and
you just double text it kind of thing.
The comps. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of the comparison to what's selling right now. So let's just say an item is $100. I mean, let's cut that and try to get this out as quickly as possible. So we try to really do like competitive pricing. So lots of research, and even when we are reposting any of our items, I make sure on the day to day, what is that item going for, and we're trying to be the best. So
yeah,
have the best deals, have the best.
That's a good goal.
Yeah. Like go ahead with your question. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, checking on your Instagram and stuff, I see like a lot of high-end items. I was curious if you guys totally source like in thrift stores and stuff like that, or if you do any like retail shopping and then reselling that, how you
actually
I guess source.
Yeah, well, I'm on Poshmark, I'm on Mercari, I'm on Facebook Marketplace all the time. OfferUp.
People in person.
Meeting people in person.
You're sourcing on other platforms?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
I've heard of people doing that.
You don't leave anymore.
Yeah.
For example, right now, everybody's selling what they got for Christmas and they hated, which is incredible how many people just like open it and like, I hate it, let me get rid of it, or so they're trying to make some cash, and so they sell their Christmas gifts like super cheap, brand new with tag. So definitely I go in there, I negotiate prices, but yeah, I'm picking up from people. If I see a yard sale, or from people that that are cleaning out their closets. A lot of people just want to haul it off to Goodwill, and I'm like, let me haul it off for you. And
let me look
if I see
first.
anything in there that can I keep it? And they're like, oh yeah, keep it all. I had this one lady, I actually went to go buy something from OfferUp, and she was moving, so she's like invited me up into her house and be like, I have so much stuff that I don't want. You want to go through it with me? And I'm like, we became like pals. It was like sourcing through her closet, which was huge. And she just gave me a bunch of stuff. Or she's like, I want, I don't know, $10 for the whole thing. And I'm like, okay, great. Thank you. I'll take it off your hands.
Right. Yeah. Here's, I don't know if y'all have ever tried this. I did this last year and it worked really great. I thought about doing it this year. I've just still got a lot of stuff I'm working through, but I made a post on Facebook Marketplace that I buy stuff to resell, and I put like the kind of stuff I'm interested in, that I'm looking for. And I had like 20 people message me the first day, and I actually have a video up of one of the scores that I got. This married couple, their daughter was moving out of the house, and they had a lot of money, and they bought like her daughter all these collectibles. They're all brand new in the box still, but she didn't want them anymore. She just wanted them gone. And we paid $200 and like completely packed the car full. And like there was one box of strawberry shortcake doll inside. I sold for like $150, and everything else, it was like I made so much money on that. So that's an idea too. If you ever
definitely. We might get a post on that. Yeah. I mean, definitely a great idea.
I never thought about that. I get so stressed out like meeting people in person to like
right? I mean
yeah.
I
don't know why. It stresses me out so bad. Even if I'm like selling something, I couldn't imagine sourcing from from like Facebook Marketplace and other selling platforms and stuff. That's you know, that's a smart way to do it.
Yeah. And you know, some people only post certain things that they think they're going to sell on like OfferUp. And when you get there, they have way more items. They're like, do you want to look at this? Do you want to look at that? I actually recently went to go look for a rug that this lady was selling. It was brand new and packaged for my own house. And then she had a bunch more. And so she was just like, oh, yeah, you know, just take it all. And I'm like, okay, great. And it turned out really well. You know, mailing it, though, was tricky. Hauling that 70-pound rug to my
mailing a rug.
Yeah, I sold it on Mercari. So I shipped it to California, and I was like having to haul in this 8x10 rolled up rug to the UPS was challenging.
Yeah, that's tough, shipping really large items.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but sometimes it's like the profit's so good, it's just hard not to, you know. But
yeah, definitely. That was a good flip.
It's probably not the most important question, but how did you wrap up the rug? Did you just have to like put like shrink wrap around it, or did you have to find a box?
I had to buy the vinyl mailer because they have some heavy duty plastic poly mailers. So I had to buy that from Amazon. And then like with saran wrap, I'm in there rolling it up because, you know, obviously I don't want it to get dirty in shipping. It was brand new. So, but I know how things are handled, especially right now, like the boxes that I get from, you know, all of the different carriers, they've been beating up on those boxes, you know, they shove them in it. So I didn't want it to tear and then get dirty and have a return. So I made sure that it like triple packed it, even to the point where, you know, my fiance was like, do you need this much tape? And I'm like, it needs this much tape.
You always need more tape.
Yeah, the more the better.
I'm like, go with me on this one.
Yeah. So are y'all mainly just selling on Mercari?
Yes.
Yes. Well, at first we were doing a lot of different ones, Poshmark and a lot of other things, but it just seemed like the loss of focus kind of really like put a dent in ourselves.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so, but when we started to really focus on just the one, it just was like consistent. And, you know, obviously people are looking at those reviews. And so, you know, and then Allie has always been on Instagram. So she was just like, let's do Instagram and start putting ourselves out there because people want this content. And I'm like, you're the one who really knows all about that. I do watch resellers on YouTube. I turned on to a couple that I watch because obviously they have a lot of tips and tricks. But that's basically what we work off of. Yeah.
Well, who are your favorites on YouTube?
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry, Matt. I keep cutting you off.
I don't say real quick, get out of the way. No, if y'all decide if y'all want to try cross listing or something like that, Vendoo, because they sponsored this podcast, they're gonna, if y'all want to, they're gonna give you 3 months of free subscription, like whatever plan you want to try. So if y'all want to try it out, you can. I know they just added Shopify as well, so that's a new little thing they just added on there. But if not, no worries. I just want to make sure I.
Yeah, well, we're
willing
willing to try.
Cross listing, or did y'all do manually listing it on other platforms, or how did y'all do it before?
Before, I was heavily involved in Poshmark and trying to get the social aspect of the application, always consistently trying to share and keep up with that. It just became so challenging that it was taking me away from actually posting the items that needed to be in front of as many eyes as we can, right? So it's like taking you away because there was this social aspect. So the moment we allowed ourselves to be set free from that and just went to Mercari, posted the items, and then started making the sales, I mean, our business really changed.
I will say, if y'all, I mean, y'all don't have to, but for me, I mainly cross list from like eBay on the Mercari and Facebook because the way that the listings are like put into Mercari and Facebook is so easy. So if y'all wanted to try on on Facebook, it literally takes me like, all I have to do is hit the category button, and then I want to ship it, and then hit list. And I think the first couple of days I knocked out like 400 cross listings. So
wow,
just Facebook. So it's like super fast, but
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that we did look at some of the, I believe there's another one that's out there that also
Yeah.
kind of helps you cross list. Um, but then you know, it was really early on in what we were doing. So I was just like,
Mhm.
maybe in the future when we're scaling up, then we
Yeah.
can do that. Because yeah, I mean, as many places as you can put it out there, more people have eyes on it. I think it
Right.
does
Yeah.
better. And yeah,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
You were talking about watching people on YouTube. I was just curious who a few of your favorite YouTube resellers were.
I love Mogi Beth. And then I turned Allie on to watching Mogi Beth. Um, I don't know if you know who she is, but she does
Uh-huh.
a lot of retail arbitrage in
Mhm.
her. So she knows the brands. And so, you know, especially the ones that are up and coming or newer, but really high in the resale market.
Mhm.
So we follow her, and she does have a lot of good tips. And she always has a bolo posting, you know, be on the
Mhm.
lookout for.
Mhm.
So Allie always, and every morning she sends me what Mogi posts as far as what brands we should be looking for.
Yeah, I need to start watching more like about women's clothing and stuff, high end brands, because I'm sure because I go to a lot of garage sales. I go to about probably over 1,000 last year I went to, and
Wow.
I'm always coming across like women's handbags and shoes, and I just don't know what I'm looking at. Like, so that's actually one of the questions I was going to ask y'all as far as like handbags go, like women's wallets and stuff. Is there some brands that are like pretty much like a bread and butter brand that you come across that sell really well, and then if you have some that are like maybe you don't come across quite as often, but maybe some other brands to be on the lookout for that
Matt,
maybe.
write these down for me. I don't have paper.
Well, we do mostly Dooney and Burke. Mostly because it's the brand that I'm most familiar with, but quite honestly, it's like a mid tier cost wise bag.
Okay.
You know, the probably the most expensive one that they carry is less than $1,000.
Oh wow.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, you know, but most of their stuff is 350, 550 in that range. So, and because I think that's more of a accessible price point, that's where I've kind of stayed there. You know,
Hmm.
obviously the Gucci's of the world, the Louis Vuittons, um, wonderful flips. However, then you have to deal with the whole counterfeit situation.
Yeah.
Being able to spot a counterfeit with those are really tricky, especially when you're not that familiar with them. Like, you know, if I had a ton of Louis bags, then I would know what to look for, or you know, comfort in calling like your representative because they assign you one and be like, hey, can you see if this bag is real,
Hmm.
that kind of thing. So, but Dooney, I think it's a price point where I don't think the counterfeiters are that excited, because obviously their flip is not going to be
Hmm.
as, you know, much money as they can get. Why spend,
Hmm.
you know, time and effort in trying to make a counterfeit that you're only going to get $500 for?
Hmm.
Where
Yeah.
I think that they're like, I'm going to get $4,000 for this fake bag. Let's put our efforts there. So I think we don't across a lot of the counterfeits when you do that. Also, Dooney is like remarkable with their handcrafted leather work. So
Okay.
when you pick it up, you know what you're kind of dealing with, just the weight of the
Hmm.
leather, and then the stitching. It's so precise. So you kind of already know what you're kind of looking at when you pick it up.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's easier to spot. Um, you know, so that's where I always go to my Dooney bags. You know, I think out of the 2 years that we've been doing this, um, I've gotten 2 fake bags the whole time.
Yeah, I was going to ask
So
you about that if you ever had problems with getting.
yeah. So, but I mean, I think it's, you know, really important to check out the pictures that you're looking for, because obviously when you're sourcing from,
Yeah.
you know, other resellers,
Hmm.
it's kind of hard. But I think that it's not as a big of a problem. Obviously, they do have counterfeits, and some people are making them, but the type, like you're going to tell immediately if you're
Hmm.
picking up a plastic bag versus,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know, a leather
Something
bag.
high end. Yeah. What about
Yeah.
you, Alyssa? Is there some handbags that maybe like let's say maybe sell around like 100, $200 like range, or even like $50, something that you could probably spot at a thrift store for, really cheap, or something that is one that just seems to have like good consistent sales, like or something.
Consistent sales. It's funny you said purses, but I think that our next best seller that, every day just goes on is Doc Martens. So
Okay.
boots, kind of another like everyday thing that somebody's gonna want that's not a crazy high price for shoes, but is a
Mhm.
substantial shoe to where somebody is comfortable in spending a little bit more for it. And I think that's the best way to make risk in this game is to every time you find something, run the comps, take the time with every item
Hmm.
because it'll really give you the answer you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But
very important, but it's easy to just buy stuff. You get excited, you see something, just buy it. I'm guilty of that all the time. But yeah, it is very important to.
That is, when you're excited, put it all in your cart. It's
Yeah.
it's all basically yours, and then hover around it, and then go one by one and run the numbers and see if it's worth it, and put stuff back. It really
Yeah.
is great to walk out with three things that you know for sure are going to make you money, rather than something that's going to add to this death pile, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Nobody wants that type of a stress. So I think that has been our biggest lesson in figuring out what we're gonna sell is, what is gonna give us that return, because there's now two people who, she's finding the bags, meeting this person, cleaning them. Now we ship, and then, I go through and make everything really beautiful, make all the descriptions. What price point is it gonna be that's gonna make that worth it for you? For us, that's why we sell nicer items, honestly.
Yeah. And how long have y'all been on Mercari for now?
well, if you for selling actually 2 years, but I was on it before shopping. So,
Oh yeah.
but total about 5 years
I saw you
in
had
total.
979 sales. That's pretty impressive. That's a lot. I know.
Yeah, I would say that's in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
That's
that's a lot.
where that number comes from.
That's
But
impressive. Yeah.
going back to the brands, check out Michael Kors. Those are nice
That's a good
100
one. I sold Michael
Michael
Kors.
Kors bags. Coach, and Coach is usually really nice leather bags, so you can smell it, and
Yeah.
kind of try it out. But definitely, I would. There's always a big, especially Michael Kors. People go crazy for that stuff, and it's you know um, right around that price point. So if you can
Yeah.
find it for $15-$20, definitely do that.
So you were saying like, because that's always my concern. Like I know like I know a few like higher end brands or whatever, like Michael Kors and Coach and stuff. You're saying like you can feel when if you pick it up and it's like real leather, you know that it's like authentic, or do you have to like go in detail and like check more like stitching and
Yeah,
like
definitely.
logos and stuff?
Definitely the leather, I smell it. I put my nose in there and like
Hmm.
if I can smell the leather, then I know it's real.
Okay.
Definitely the stitching, you're gonna know that it's a quality bag if it's all uniform. Also know the colors. Some bag carriers only use a certain color of twine, string, thread, thread.
Hmm.
So definitely know your colors with that regards to that.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I check it all out, make sure that all the hardware is correct. Because that's where the dead giveaways of fake is that some of the
Hmm.
hardware doesn't have the name brand in it. Um,
Yeah. I'm curious too, like what other tips do you have for authenticating items?
um, yeah, the Doonies have make sure you look at the labels.
Hmm.
A lot of the higher end bags also have the date stamped in them.
Hmm.
So if you're familiar with the brand, you'll know like when they came out with this model.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And if the date doesn't match the time frame, then obviously you have a counterfeit.
Okay.
So you've got to know those little tricks, or the fact that like for example, Michael Kors only uses actual metal in their locks and stuff, and
Okay.
so when you're looking at something, you're like, this is plastic. Plastic metal is real, genuine metal, which you'll also recognize because of the weight. Then you're like, this is a fake. They little things like that. Know where all the markings are on the logos, which typically they're pretty uniform about where they're going to put their stamps in. So make sure that you check all of that, and then go and look it up online. And just if you even have like a question about it, and run it, like be like, okay, well, they have these, ones that have locks, the ones that have the imprint of the name.
Yeah, see, she's a little detective.
And because I love doing it, it's just like,
I feel like I've seen a lot of fakes that have like numbers on them and stuff, and it's like, I guess you just have to look everything up and just,
right.
really
I think in the combination of all the things,
like practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and that's why I also stick with the Doonies, because I'm most familiar with them. Right. So I know what they look like. I've been in their stores. So I know the models. We know the names of the bags now. So
I think y'all's Instagram story had Dooney and Burke on there today, right? Alyssa, did you post something about them on it? Yeah.
Always tell them.
So make sure y'all follow the Flip.Chicks, and I'll put your little name up on here to go check out their stories, because I look at y'all's story like every day, and I'm just trying to learn something about, like I said, anything clothing related or handbags or whatever that, helps me in the future. So make sure y'all go follow them on Instagram and check them out. Check out your Mercari store too. Y'all have a lot of really impressive looking stuff in there. Y'all's photos are really great too. I really like the way that it looks. Like mine just looks like kind of, I don't know. It's like kind of all over everywhere. But y'all got like fake grass on there and
fake grass.
The green grass or whatever.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get the ladies in. Ladies love foliage.
They do. And it surprises me because sometimes they lit very closely in Mercari. You know how you could see all the listings all together. So I've seen people buy our bag at a higher price point when there's like the same bag, maybe 2 or 3 listings down, just because our pictures are better.
Yeah.
So
it helps. I mean, if I see like a picture on someone's couch cushion or something, I'm not going to buy that. Like I'll pay the extra $4 shipping or the extra $2. I don't always go for the cheapest one. I go for good feedback and good pictures whenever I buy something.
Yeah, definitely. And
I would say a lot of people that like wonder, tips on listing or keywords or photos or anything like that, like go on, the Flip.Chicks Mercari store, check out some listings, see how you guys, do your listings, the keywords you use, the photos. That's really the best way to learn, it's just to look at other people who've been doing it for a long time and, see what measurements they include and all that kind of stuff.
Definitely. I think the most important thing you have to remember when listing is put yourself in the mindset of the buyer. What is the buyer typing in? Sometimes we want just black shirt, black dress. I mean, that stuff is so important. But when I'm looking at, the vintage Dawn purse, not everyone's going to know that. Someone might just type in brown purse. So, I mean, you need that stuff in there, although it's not as fancy. I mean, but description words are very important.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think a lot of times people ask me like, hey, my stuff's not selling. Can you look at my store? And almost every time I look and they have clothes on there, there's no measurements. And that's one thing I think is really important. It helps reduce like returns. And then also, especially for pre-owned clothes, they shrink, over time.
Oh, right.
Jeans, things like that. And I think that I'm guessing y'all put measurements, right? For
luckily, we have a lot of purses, so those typically they're all the same size. Real. So
you still have to put. Do you still like?
It's a 7.
Do you still put like the length of them and the height and everything? Okay, yeah, because I have. Luckily, I haven't had any negative. I don't want to say, yeah, on eBay, no bad feedback. I had a neutral before, and it was like on a kitchen item because they thought that it was bigger than it appeared in the picture, you know. And so now it's like kitchen utensils or anything. Like I just did a video yesterday on a lantern I picked up. I listed it a minute ago, freaking sold in 30 minutes. Maybe I should have priced it higher. I don't know, but even that I put.
Now
Like,
you have to
get so
ship it.
excited when-
With, what's that?
you'd think we all get so excited when it's sold, and it's just like, yes, we made it. But then sometimes it's like, oh, well, that sold a little fast. Oh, too cheap.
Well, yeah,
we sell ourselves short.
yeah, but at the same time, it's better than sitting on something for a long time. And you know, the person that bought it, I think they've bought something from my store a few times, and they're always buying like camping percolators from me. They bought like a Coleman lantern a while back from me. They're buying like lanterns and stuff. I don't know if it's a collector or what, but they buy from me a good bit. So Mike, you got anything you want to ask? I don't want to cut you off.
I don't. I was just very concerned. I wanted to know like the authentication like process you guys had. That I told Matt yesterday. I'm like, I need to ask because I have a pair of Gucci shoes that I got a while back, and I'm just terrified to list them. Like I primarily sell shoes on my store, so I don't want a negative feedback that says my shoes were fake. So I'm like terrified to list them. So I'm gonna go.
I have a tip or a suggestion.
Okay.
Mercari has an authentication service that they offer when you post. You can ask to they authenticate the item, especially at the price point that you're probably going to list them. Mm-hmm. And they can give you a certificate if you. Right now, I think they're doing authentications for free, and if you want the certificate of authenticity, they charge you $10. So, but if it doesn't pass, you don't pay anything. So they're just like, we could not authenticate this item. Here's your $10 back. So I think it's a no lose.
It's a win-win.
We had one that someone had given to us to have, and so obviously it was a gift, so I wasn't gonna be like, is this real? So I was like, thank you very much. And then I try to put it on there and then they go through a picture process where you're sending them specific pictures and the serial number and everything. And, they told us that it wasn't authentic and they couldn't post it. I mean, they couldn't authenticate it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so Mercari, like it does the authentication like through pictures. You don't even have to like send it in or anything.
Right. Correct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
because I think with eBay you have to like send it somewhere, and that I just want to save myself like the embarrassment of sending shoes and then having to.
Well, and I'm not sure that they're able to send it back to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think there's another one. It's not eBay, obviously, but they because they prove that it's a counterfeit, they don't send it back to you.
Good point.
So
because I was giving them for free, but they are like such high quality. Like I'm like 99% sure they're real, but then I'm just a little suspicious because it was a gift. Just see if you can sell these on eBay. So but I might try that because if you just take the pictures and like you don't like get the shoes taken away from you or have to pay to ship them anywhere,
or it affects your account.
Exactly.
Yeah, I just don't want it.
We'll sell them for you.
Is there anything that you sell often that is like your least favorite thing to sell? Like something that you just like as far as the listing process and cleaning it up or shipping it, like something that you just really don't like to mess with?
Well, for a while there, I was sourcing bags that were in need of some TLC, and so even though I do love to condition leather, polish leather, and I'm a kind of a clean freak myself, but it takes so many hours to get it to a condition to sell it that after you be like, it took me 12 hours to get this to sale to market. After you work out what that has cost you now in time, it just is not.
It doesn't
it's not
add up.
there.
Yeah.
So that's probably my least favorite. And then there's just some things that, even though they're very popular on other people, like, for example, some of the athletic gear, like Lululemon, Athleta, you know, some of the higher end brands that
Mhm.
just won't sell for us. You know, no matter the picture, no matter how we post it, it just it sits there for whatever reason. So I really
I feel like everyone's out looking for those kind of brands at the thrift store, and then everyone's listing it on eBay or Mercari. And I just feel like there's, you know, there's like always like brands that are way over hyped and like oversaturated in the market because it's like, you know, it's a well-known brand that sells, so everyone goes out looking for it. And then yeah, it just gets like I have a few like shoe brands that get like that, like they used to be like real good sellers. And yeah, it's just the market seems to get like just oversaturated. It's so much more fun like looking for the next like new brand that, you know, no one knows about or you never knew about. So I'm sorry I keep coughing.
Yeah, no.
We really have the opportunity to, you know, when the wave does, you know, go over something and it settles out, and, you know, the next wave, we're able to be, you know, ear on the ground and switch our product. Whereas, you know, a brand who had to come up with their own thing, you know, they can be old news. We will never be old news. We will always be riding that wave.
Mm-hmm. So, what was it? Are y'all full time right now? Is this like your
Yeah.
full time job?
This is what we're doing.
Yeah.
We've doubled down on this is what we're going to do, and we're going to make it work. And so, yeah, we're both doing that full time.
Going good so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely grown. Obviously, earlier we were like, you know, splitting a couple of bucks, but it's definitely on the up trajectory.
Have y'all considered to maybe like move it together, like move closer to each other to like?
I would love it. I would love it because I think we would work off each other's momentum, and then also like help source on the ground. Probably get more into that retail arbitrage where you go into, you know, Nordstrom Rack, and then you find something there like that we could flip. And I don't know, sometimes even going into the thrift stores, they're huge, and so it's like trying to get through it. You could be there 5 hours, you know. If you're really, you know, sifting and going through it, I think it would be great if I had her help.
Y'all could probably sell a lot more stuff too if y'all are both outsourcing and then listing and shipping together and stuff like that. It kind of just, you know, knock it out. But
since you,
I think that it keeps us pretty consistent, because before it was, you know, we do sourcing one day, and then, you know, one day we're taking pictures, and then the next day finally it's getting up in front of people. Now we have new inventory coming in all the time, because that's my sole job, is to get it in front of people. And now she's able to go out and spend as much time as she needs, whatever hours that she needs to, and get the sourcing.
So yeah, it works. It definitely works, because, you know, she's out there posting where, yeah, it did take me a very long time sometimes just to even get it on the page, because I was so busy trying to build an inventory. But right now I said I wasn't going to do any more sourcing until we got everything up and posted. But the people returning their Christmas gifts has been too good of a market right now for the bags that I'm like, I think I picked up probably another 25 pieces in the last week and a half. So
what is your margins that you're kind of looking for whenever you're buying online to resell? Because you got to think about shipping and everything too. I mean, if you're selling something for $300, like what's your max you're going to spend on like that?
Well, okay, say I find something that's $300, but I know that it's going to, you know, flip quickly, then I wouldn't mind spending up to $125, $140 for that flip.
Yeah.
But really, if you know, if we could make $20 on it, I'll pick it up, you know? And usually it does a, you know, because I know now just from always sourcing, I know what people are posting the prices at.
Mhm.
So sometimes we hold on to things to make more of a profit, but sometimes I'm just like, let's just put it all out there. If we can make $30, $40 on each piece, we're going to make it up in bulk. So it just kind of depends. Like if we're slow, we'll stop putting, you know, things out there and taking offers so that we can have the money rolling in.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
it's
that's the
important
goal.
to never be too proud of an offer either. I mean, we as people who are resellers, I mean, we know what it's like to be hunting for a deal. So why ever get insulted or be mad by somebody also doing the same thing that we're doing, right? So and we know everyone wants to find that. And giving that gift to somebody is like, you got yours and I got mine and we both win-win, found some place in the middle. I mean, that's the best place to be.
I got a question for Sulym. Have you ever thought about, or have you ever tried garage sales? I'm curious if you ever gone that way.
I would love to do the garage sales. In Las Vegas, obviously, they're inconsistent, I think, mostly, you know, because of the weather. It's kind of nuts, you know, especially in the summer. I don't think anybody wants to be out there in the desert, but I always, when I was younger, I would love to source through garage sales and find things. I used to throw garage sales when I was like 10, you know, like, so like the flip thing has been a big thing for me, like my whole life. But yeah, no, definitely you can find some good finds. We have a whole 2 areas in town where it's just like retirement communities.
Okay.
You know, I've done really well in, you know, just stopping by and looking at what they have because, you know, they have awesome stuff. They, you know, well kept and just, you know, giving it away for almost nothing. But yeah, I love the garage sale price points.
Yeah, me too.
I wish I had a buddy though, like, you know, someone to come with me.
Hey, Alyssa, you got to go make the move.
Yeah. I'm like, that way she can come with me.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to stay here in South Dakota or if I want to move maybe because we're traveling in the winter maybe. I don't know what we're going to do, but it's like 7 months of winter here. And I mean, I go to thrift stores and I find a lot of good stuff that keeps me going, but I much prefer garage sales because it's like I make so much more. I mean, it's like night and day how much I make on with the garage sales compared to, you know, going to the thrift store because I find stuff at garage sales all the time for like $20 to sell for $300-400. When I go to the thrift store, it's like I'm lucky if I find something to sell for $100.
Yeah,
a little bit more. It's just here and there's not a lot of thrift stores here, so it's just
as well. Yeah, well, we have quite a few.
To source online too. Now you're allowed to be everywhere in the world all at once, and it's like you can make your offer without even having to see anybody. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some cities are more successful with the thrift store than others. Like I love thrift stores in LA. I grew up there. So they have just so many gems and so many of them that it's just like not sifted out immediately upon opening. So I used to love to thrift there. We lived in Oklahoma for a little while. Hated the thrift stores there. It was just like the people, I mean, obviously there are things that people are giving away to the, you know, thrift stores. So it was just like, the quality wasn't there. It was like on its last legs, whatever that, you know, furniture was really good there. I do remember that they had some nice antiques, a lot of things that you can definitely flip. I mean, if you're into that, you know, but 2 little ladies, it's hard to move stuff, hard to move the furniture. But I think it's also like the area.
Like, where are people keeping all this stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Here the garage sales are good. It's just the thrift stores are not that great. I mean, I'm lucky we have a couple good ones. I think maybe next week we may travel a little ways and go check out some in another city. But it's just, here it's like, I don't know. The garage sales are just so good because I'll go out and spend $150 in one day, and I'll go to like 20, 25 garage sales, and I come
Wow,
home with like easily $1,500 worth of stuff, and
that's great.
it's just like, and it's like that, weekly. It seems like it's pretty good. But then, like I said, 7 months of winter. I mean, it was -8 degrees last night. It's pretty cold. It's
Oh,
not a
Like
lot
our
of garage
problem in the
sales or
summer.
even estate sales. There's like no estate sales going on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I would love it if we were able to do more with the garage sales
Yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, we were actually thinking at one point, back when we were doing more of the clothes, we were thinking we could go maybe drive out to California and, do like maybe like once a month.
Oh
sourcing.
yeah. The Goodwills out in Orange County where, all the very, rich ladies live. They have there's so many, they're huge. First of all, they're as big as grocery stores, and their purse sections were racks and racks of
Oh,
all
wow.
name brand, So you couldn't go wrong, like going in there and picking up a couple of bags. They're just amazing. And
Mhm.
at Goodwill prices, which some thrift stores, obviously, they're getting a little ridiculous with their pricing.
Yep.
But Goodwill is pretty consistent with keeping it real. And, there's another guy, gosh, what is his name? I'm gonna,
The
I don't
reseller
remember, but
on social media.
he's out there, and he'd be like, "Look at this Ralph Lauren bag, retails for $800. I got it for $12.99."
Wow.
So definitely good finds there. So we were thinking about doing like a
That's a
couple,
Goodwill?
yeah, at the Goodwill.
See, that's weird to hear that because Goodwill, are y'all aware of shopgoodwill.com? I mean, I'm sure
Yes.
y'all
Yeah.
are, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know about that. They're like, "Oh, you're stealing from the poor." It's like you realize that Goodwill takes the best stuff and they sell it for what it's worth online. So you're saying
Yeah.
that I can't do the exact same thing, you know?
Exactly.
It's just yeah.
Yeah.
When people
If we
come
do
at
it,
me with that,
throw it away.
Huh?
A lot of it gets thrown away if we
Yeah,
wouldn't
a
do
lot.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just gives
exactly.
it another opportunity to see life again.
Yep. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Do you guys ever go to like the Goodwill bins, like outlet stores? Do you have any of those near? Like,
Yeah, there's one in Vegas. You have a really big one in Denver, which
Where
one
we
day when
have
I go out there, we're gonna go see. But yeah, we've done
Hmm.
the where you fill the shopping cart and they charge you for that.
mhm.
Some good finds.
Because like speaking of throwing stuff away, yeah, they at my like Goodwill bins location, they just have a giant dumpster. It's like a 2-story dumpster outside, and they just take the pick through bins and dump them right into the dumpster. So I mean, the stuff really does get thrown away. So
Wow.
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
We
our
don't have a
here
Goodwill bin.
is a trash compactor actively going at all moments, so nobody can be sifting through it, and it's honestly heartbreaking and kind of disgusting because it's like
Mhm.
they're not letting anybody else touch it, and it's always going, and they're just
Yeah.
filling it all the time, and it's horrible, and people don't think about that.
yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
at least
Yeah.
take the clothes and give it to a homeless shelter or something like that, Or like
Precisely.
get some kind of like organization going. I mean, I know Goodwill's main mission is like to create jobs and get back to the community percentage of the money that's spent there. But yeah, there is, I feel like, some things they could do to really help out people that are actually in need and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
well, I guess we're gonna probably close this out because it's starting to get pretty long here. I got one
Yeah.
last question though to ask y'all, and basically for anybody that is like thinking about getting into reselling, what's some advice that you have for them just getting out there starting out?
I would say probably, I think my best advice is pick something that you also like. Because if you're going to start to do it full time, I would say start with a product that is near and dear to your heart,
Hmm.
because that
Mhm.
way it's exciting. It's exciting, it's fulfilling, and then you can throw your whole life into just doing it because it's something that you enjoy, as opposed to just like picking, just trying to pick as many things so you have more inventory. I would definitely probably focus on something that you love to look at, because you're going to be living it, breathing it, photographing it, carrying it, packaging it. So, I mean, it's going to, like, when you care about it.
For a while too.
Yeah. So that would be my recommendation. Pick something that you like, something that you carry, something that, brings you joy. That way you're going to do it for the long run.
Yeah.
When people
That's
ask
great advice.
you can, you're going to fill up with joy, because it is what you like. It is what you're interested in. And people can feel that energy. And I think that's really important. A lot of people are just, some people are selling printer ink and paper, and they're like, why am I not excited about this stuff every day? It's like you pick the most boring thing ever.
Some people like it.
Everybody's answer is different in the department.
Yeah, I'd say probably, like, if there was one thing that I don't really care much to sell or list, I mean, I still buy this stuff because I know there's good money into it, but some things I've been more picky with lately, and that's electronics, because there's a lot of different electronics that if you don't, sometimes you need extra things to test them, or they just take a long time to mess with to test. And sometimes if there's one button, you're not sure if it works or not, and then if the buyer gets, they think it, they think they're getting something else. Shipping can be high. I don't know. It's just, to me, I feel like it's a lot of work, but
yeah,
there's too many variables, like too many things that can go wrong with electronics. That's
still
why
pick
it's
up,
great advice. Like,
yeah, I still pick up VCRs and stuff because I sell them so fast, and those I'm pretty like quick at testing. But like receivers and stuff, it's like I don't know. Like, there's some things. I sold this like really complicated calculator recently, and I just got tired of messing with it, and I couldn't figure it out, so I just sold it for parts. I don't think it worked properly, but it's like there's just I don't know. If you find something consistently and you learn it, and then you find it again, and you know what you're dealing with, then it's not so bad. But it's just just can take a long time.
But sometimes those, like, for example, I had these Bose subwoofer system, that I found on, I think, thrifting, and I didn't know anything about it, right? And I'm like, who'd want this old technology, right? It was like on a $2 sale, but I'm like, but it's Bose, right? So I picked it up, and then I connected it, made sure that it was at least working, but I didn't know where to price it at, and I was just like, this is never going to sell. This is probably a bad idea. It sold the first day I listed it on OfferUp so quickly that I was really surprised.
Yeah, Bose is a good brand too. Everybody does really well with Bose.
it's a great brand.
But it was old. Like, it was.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. Some old stuff that would sell.
So, and then the guy was just like, it was a home theater system setup, but he's like, I'm putting this in my car, and I'm like, oh, like the things that you don't even know, like the application of. I'm like, and he goes, and when I did list it, I had like 4 or 5 people asking me, "Is this sell already?" And I'm like, I just posted it an hour ago. But apparently popular, and I would have never known, and I almost walked away from it. I'm just like, but I'm like, it's Bose, it's on sale. Right? So, I mean, try it.
Yeah. I'm just curious, what is your biggest flip that you've had in the last 2 years?
Well, let's see. Let me think. We did sell something that I had actually. This is going to be a failure story, but anyway, I'll tell it to you. You can cut it. I have 2 stories, so I'll tell you the first one. I bought a beauty device that's an LED mask that women wear for anti-aging benefits. Okay, this cost, and I was doing I was trying to look for one because I wanted it. It retails for about $2,200, $2,400. That's before taxes and shipping and all of that. $2,400. And so I was just like, I want one. So I started actually looking for myself. And so I was going in there. I set a save search. I was going on Facebook Marketplace, and I found one. It was listed brand new in box, $500.
Oh wow.
So I'm like, oh, $500, because again, I was shopping for myself.
Yeah.
I was just like, I'll ask the lady, and it had been posted. It had been posted like 4 months ago when I found it.
Oh wow.
Yes, and so I'm like, 4 months ago, and it's still up. Let me offer her $300.
Yeah, usually people that still have stuff up that long, they just never took the listing down. So
Right, they usually have already sold it and then
yeah,
forgot to take it down. I wrote to her, do you still have this? And she said, actually, I do. And I said, would you consider taking $300 for it?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yes. And I'm like, oh my, I couldn't even believe it. I was just like, I don't know if she got it as a gift. She doesn't know what she has, but I'm like, super.
Price has been up for that long too. Like, that's crazy.
So I offered her $300 and she mailed it to me. And it was brand new in box, had all the pieces still in the plastic and everything. And so now I had this great thing that I know cost $2,400. And it was sold out all over America. And it was right before Christmas. Like the end of November is when I found it. And so I was just like, this is going to be a phenomenal flip. And I posted it. Mercari only goes up to $2,000. I don't know if you know that. That's the highest you can put. So I posted it for $2,000. I sold it in 4 days.
Is the max on Mercari?
Yeah.
$2,000.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I posted it for $2,000. I sold it in 4 days.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That's a nice flip.
But then
But
I was like, but I want it. So I ended up keeping it. I ended up canceling the sale and saying, I'm just going to keep this because, you got to keep it fresh. But
what was it again? What was the item again?
It's a Desi Pro. Do you want me to show it to you? I actually have it right here.
Yeah, sure.
It is an LED mask.
Oh wow.
Oh wow, it's
a Desi Pro. It is, it's got all the lights and stuff. You wear it. It's anti-aging. $2,400. And
wow. Does it work good?
Oh my goodness, it's phenomenal. Like I don't regret not selling it. Like if it's like you want plumpness to your face when you're a little older, and it's a phenomenal machine. It's definitely worth the $2,400. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, you got it for $300. So if you ever do want to sell it, then
I think people will actually
profit on it.
Even used, it probably would go. Especially, it's still sold out in America, so I don't know when they're going to restock. If you wanted to buy one, you'd either have to buy one from China or from London, Great Britain, England. Edit that out. England. So, but then the other flip that we had that was really good, it was a Fantasia bag, a Dooney & Burke Fantasia, new with tag. I found the bag and then I found the wallet separately, also new with tags. We sold that one for $1,000, and I bought it for both pieces for $350. So
nice. Yeah,
wow,
pretty good flip, yeah.
Not bad.
Each of our items, it's kind of a big chunk of change when you're going in, but we know what it's gonna flip for when we do put the money down. So spend a little, make a little more. That's where it's at.
Oh, it sounds like it was well worth it. Yeah, it was worth the investment for sure on both.
I agree. Yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to close out the show. Anything else I want to say? I just want to say thanks for coming on the show, and I'm going to put a link down below so people can follow you guys on Instagram too. So
great, thank you. We appreciate it. This is fun.
Yeah, it's been a good time. So definitely go check out their Mercari store. They'll probably give you some ideas on, stuff to look out for, how to do listings and things like that. So I think y'all's store looks phenomenal. So great job.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you both very much.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. All right. Well, hang out in the back, and we'll be there in just a minute. Well, that was a great show. I had a good time. Definitely learned a lot of stuff to be on the lookout for. What do you think, Mike? You learned some
That
stuff?
was a tremendous learning experience. You know, got to. I was very concerned about authenticating stuff, and now I feel pretty confident. I feel like I learned a lot. Had a
Yeah.
good time talking.
I want to
Couldn't have asked for a better show.
Yeah, I want to say I've seen that authentication thing on my Mercari on my app, and I've seen it there. I never paid attention to it, so that's definitely a good thing to know. I haven't really come across a lot of stuff that I've had to authenticate, but if I do, then I'm definitely going to put on Mercari and try that out. So definitely
Yeah.
cool. But we'll be back in 2 weeks. So every Friday around 5 or 6 p.m. we're going to be dropping. I'll probably have a more set time in the future, but this will be on Facebook and YouTube. So if y'all want to check out this podcast more often, make sure to, follow along. And yep, we'll have more coming up here soon. All right. See you guys. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.